Hello, this is Reasons Are Several bonus episode volume 3. My name is Matt. As previously mentioned, we are in the midst of some minor show changes. So we're filling in some recording gaps with previously unreleased material that we recorded back in February. Today's episode includes cryogenics, crime, general stupidity, chocolate, the ethics of sex bots, and songs that people like to get down to. If you'd like to reach out to the show on Twitter, you can find us at ReasonsR. Neil is at AngelsFreak7. Please go subscribe, rate, and review our show on iTunes. Also, tell a friend or a coworker to check us out. We'd greatly appreciate it. We'll be back next week with another bonus episode, but we do have a new episode coming in a couple weeks, so stay tuned for that. And now, here is the bonus nonsense for this week. You want to talk cryogenics? Robert Nelson.
Robert Nelson. Exclusive. I don't know where I got this from. I froze the first man in liquid nitrogen 50 years ago, and he will be brought back to life.
Which is remarkable. 1967.
Yeah, isn't that kind of creepy? Are you a cryogenics guy?
No, I'm not, and it's interesting. So, I mean, the guy, first, there's several reasons why. One of which being the guy he froze was, dead, 72 years old, died of
James
cancer.
Bedford.
What's his name? Yeah, James
Bedford.
And it's such a weird thing to me. There was a while where my brother was talking about doing this, that he was going to be cryogenically frozen when he died.
So he'd like go click, 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 click to the cryogenics?
With his cappuccino.
He's going
to be so mad when he comes to in like 120 years and there's no cappuno.
Or
they're like, what are these curious things he has in his feet?
He tells them, keep this warm.
Well, don't you love that he didn't have the thing ready, so he had to store him for 2 weeks in his pothead friend's garage?
Yeah. This whole story is when we froze Bedford, man had never been on the moon. There had never been a heart transplant. There was no GPS, no cell phones. What kind of argument is that?
It doesn't make a good argument at all.
Yeah.
Those two have nothing to do with each other.
No.
I understand what you're saying, technological advances and all that, but come on.
And it just seems, I mean, in theory, for this to work, there can't be any hiccup in the temperature. And I'm just thinking, 50 years, somebody unplugged it for a while.
No, it's not gonna work. And it's one of those weird things where you can get into a whole philosophical, ethical kind of argument about, is this a good thing?
Yeah.
Should you be allowed to do this, or should you just, when you die, you're dead and that's it? Because this is going to create quite a population problem if they ever get this working.
Yeah. And so now Nelson's extraordinary story is set to be turned into a film starring Paul Rudd.
The ageless Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd. So I guess it's going to be a comedy?
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be a comedy, but probably like a dark comedy.
Ant-Man / Cryogenics Man.
Well, now they made a movie similar to this, and they referenced it, I think, in the article, that Forever Young movie with Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
Remember this? But he wasn't dead. He got thrown in the thing or something. I can't remember how it worked.
Sure.
I think it was doing it as an experiment is what he was doing.
They also kind of made this movie Demolition Man.
Right.
And I think Austin Powers kind of touched on this a bit too. So it's not original.
And as recently as Passengers, they're freezing themselves and traveling into space.
Right.
It's a little different. It's not cryogenically, but it's, same concept.
But the movie, a comedy, will have its darker moments. Let's see, 1979 court case that sued him for $400,000 by some of the families of those he treated after he ran out of money to service his California cryogenic vault and left their bodies to decompose.
Yeah, like
I said,
10 people.
It was unplugged for a while.
Uh-huh. So
how do you choose who got to keep their parts frozen? He's like, kind of like that guy. You 10, I don't like so much.
Well, I think it was just the first guy. So he's like, he's already in.
He's in.
So now the other guys are going to try to do. Now here's a real interesting stat and piece of information, not a stat. I always had the thought in my head that when Walt Disney died, he froze his head. Like I always had this rumor in my head. So I looked it up because I'm like, is that real? Really funny. He's not frozen. He was actually, not incinerated. You know what I mean?
Cremated.
Mm-hmm.
Well, kind of incinerated.
It's kind of incinerated. So I looked it up. He had been talking to Robert Nelson about getting cryogenically frozen, but never fucking put it in writing. So when the time came, the family was like, no, we're not doing that. 2 weeks after he died, he did Bedford. He was going to do Walt Disney.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Yeah,
Nuts.
Well,
I mean,
who
that
was it-
means Walt Disney would have been sitting in his body would have been, or his head would have been sitting in a fucking garage with a
Right.
bunch of fucking, in a pot smoker's garage with a bunch of grow lamps and shit.
Who was the famous ball player that half the family was saying he wanted to be cryogenically frozen, the other half was saying no?
Shit. It wasn't.
It was a baseball player, right?
Yeah, it wasn't Ted fucking Williams, was it?
I think so.
Was it Ted Williams?
That's who it was. Yeah.
Okay. This is crazy. I think when you go, and trying to keep yourself alive for them to find a cure for what killed you and then you bring you back or whatever is just, it's crazy talk.
Well, yeah. I have a lot of weird thoughts on death, but I don't think I want to be frozen.
Could you imagine coming back in 50 years? I mean, this is the other thing that
everybody you know and love is
gone. That's the biggest thing. Is like, do you really want to be woken up at that point? What are you living for? All the people around you are gone. I mean, at best, you wake up and you're like a peer with your fucking grandson or something.
Yeah.
And that's weird.
Yeah. And especially if you got frozen when you were 80.
Yeah. So what are you going to wake up and live for? I got to wake up and live for 5 more years.
I guess if they can give you some cool exoskeleton and you're, you don't feel like you're 80 and you're like, I guess I'm living forever.
That would be hilarious if you come to and you're in like a fucking assisted living. You're like, sweet, we got you back. You got 5 years of this. Like, God damn it.
Like, son of a, and you owe us a lot of money.
You owe us a ton of money. And you've got like a metallic taste in your mouth for the rest of your life. Enjoy that. No thanks. So I say thumbs down to cryogenics.
Will you see the movie though?
I'll see the
With
movie.
Paul Rudd?
Sure. Paul Rudd, he's a funny guy.
Good.
Everybody likes Paul Rudd.
Who doesn't?
Yeah. You don't like Paul Rudd, you got problems.
Yeah.
So.
It's true. That's the litmus test. You like Paul Rudd? No, we're not friends.
We're done. We're done here. So I found this article about there's a Russian roulette taser game that's being played in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
In some trendy bar, and it's being noted as this bizarre new hipster craze, which is fucking perfect. As with normal Russian roulette, there is a 1 in 6 chance that the person will get an electric shock from the gun. The gun goes off with a loud bang when it sends the shock. Did you happen to see this article and look at the video?
I did not watch the video.
The video is just silly. There's some pictures in the article, but they essentially they're getting drinks and they're passing them around, and there's a real looking fucking gun. I mean, it looks like a 357 Magnum. It's huge.
Yeah.
And first they're aiming it at their forearm, like they're playing a game against each other, like head to head. You shoot, then I'll shoot. And they're doing it to their forearm, and like nothing happens. So then this guy's like, you know what? Fuck you guys. I'm gonna put it up against my head. Of course, bam.
Yeah.
His head.
I don't like that. I mean, I don't like that it looks so much like a real gun.
I don't think you
creepy.
need that. It's real creepy. And then at one point later, another girl shows up, and the two of them are aiming guns at each other's fucking heads to do it. It makes me think like, are we sure these are just tasers?
Dude, it's like starting to remind me of the original Rollerball movie. Like, pretty soon we're just gonna go frickin' light forests on fire for fun.
Right. So it does say, it says anyone wishing to play must sign a contract. Yeah, I would think so. And it's not cheap to play, but they did not share the pricing of what it costs to be there and to play the game and all that kind of stuff. Fucking hipsters, man. They just got to come up with something stupid.
Yeah.
What a dumb goddamn idea.
Well, and again, I think if it was like one of those, those electrical taser, those old-fashioned, the clicker ones.
But I feel like people do that anyway.
Right. But if they had one of those and it was like the way it's random, so you never, it doesn't shock every time.
Right.
And they were doing that, I'd be like, oh, okay, but when they're pointing guns at each other's heads, I'm like, this is a little creepy. It's a lot creepy.
Well, this is also like, there's a reason they started making kids' toy guns look less real.
Right.
For confusion purposes, or to avoid confusion. So if somebody's gonna walk in one of these bars, there's gonna be people fucking wielding huge guns aiming at each other, and somebody's gonna drop somebody. Some fucking hipster's gonna get dropped by an undercover cop who doesn't know that it's a game, and it's like, holy shit, that person's trying to kill that guy.
Well, could you imagine just walking into the bar like with your date and
let's go here,
you see two people freaking pointing guns at each other,
right.
even though you're like, this is what No.
I think that's where you take the girl to break up with her.
Probably. You're like, I got a game for you. You think we'll ever hear a story of somebody go, oh, they switched the guns?
It's possible.
Yeah.
It's too dangerous. I don't like this at all. It makes me nervous. Bad idea.
Yeah. Shall we move on?
Yeah.
West Virginia man allegedly squirted women with semen-filled syringes at Ohio Walmart.
Attaboy.
Two things I love.
It's at a Walmart.
And Ohio. I mean, come on, people. Maybe you get a little bored. Long winters. I get it. It gets cold. You know?
But this...
You don't have much going on as far as football, right? I mean, you got the Cavaliers, so come on.
Right.
A West Virginia man repeatedly stalked women at an Ohio Walmart and allegedly admitted to masturbating into syringes to squirt them with his semen, according to an arrest affidavit. Timothy Blake, 26, was charged on December 30th with menace by stalking in connection to public masturbation incidents in the past 2 months.
So he's a multi-offender.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ohio police said they received a report on November 2nd from a woman who said a creepy, quote unquote, creepy man followed her around a Walmart.
That qualifies.
The woman told police she felt something wet on her lower back and then rushed into the bathroom to clean up the sticky substance. When she came out, the man was already waiting and staring at her. I like that he squirts her with it. Then she goes clean it up. She walks back out and he's like, "Yeah, it was all me.
That was me.
That's all day, every day.
This is really happening. Do you want me to do it somewhere else next time? Want to go out to dinner?"
After taken into custody, Blake told police that he threw egg yolks at the women. He then came clean when police tested the substance to be semen.
Could you imagine? I just cracked this egg here. Around the
yeah. Blake allegedly admitted to masturbating into the syringes in his vehicle or the Walmart bathroom before aiming it at his victims.
Good. Hey, speaking of aim, good aim on hitting that shit in the syringe.
Yeah, well, so of course I thought about this quite a bit.
Just got to put it right over the D hole.
Well, they've got those bigger syringes that like you can pump. They're still called a syringe, like even though it's not.
Ones.
So I'm thinking it was like the bigger freaking. Yeah, I don't think it was a little needle, shot type. But I mean, this was the defendant stated maybe it was his way of having sex with these women.
Are you kidding? They won't let me shoot it in them or on them on purpose, like in a room with me. So I'm just going to do it while they're walking around Walmart trying to get their fucking groceries.
Shocking that his escape vehicle was a pickup truck.
Did you see that picture of him?
Yeah.
I would describe him as creepy.
I would
creepy as fuck.
But at the same time, if he
looks
was
dead
like,
behind the eyes, man.
Yeah, if he didn't have that weird stare and he was kind of smiling, like he'd be like, "Oh, that's somebody's cousin. That's Uncle Larry."
The creepy guy who shoots his splooge
Semen.
all over.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
He's
mentally unstable.
Is he? Or
you don't think so?
Maybe he's just really, really kind of eccentric.
I think eccentric is a very sugar-coated way of putting it.
I mean, look, you're sitting there, you're like, Chicky's kind of good looking.
Do you think he watches them walk in while he's jerking it and then goes and splooges on him? Do you think that there's that combination of...
Oh, I'm sure.
So he watches her and is like, "Oh, yeah." Jerks it. "Oh, yeah." I just said, "Oh, yeah."
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Jerks it into the syringe and then goes in and finds her and shoots it on her. It's like that's his completion.
Yeah.
I
wouldn't be surprised if the stalking went even farther than that, to where it was people who came a few times to the Walmart and he's seen them before and he's like, if I see her again, I'm jerking and squirting. Yeah.
Yeah, jerking and squirting.
I mean, at least it's nice of him to squirt them on the back and not in their face.
Yeah, that's true.
At least he's like, no, like a kabloosh.
But why squirt on the back and then like wait for them to come out of the bathroom? That's taunting. That's unsportsmanlike. We got unsportsmanlike
15 yards right
penalty.
there. If it happens again, you're out. Yeah, that's just I don't know. There's something to that that's just. Could you imagine till you go? You're like, I just got squirted with something. You go and you're like, what is this?
Not to mention, don't you feel like? Do you think this was like the 9th time he did it? So like the first 8, he jerked it and then just like took a nap in his car. I was like, oh, what was I doing here? I'm tired.
I want to know how many people like he did it to and they just didn't realize that the whole thing was connected.
Could be.
Because I bet it was the first person who really realized it. Like she got it and looked at it and she's like, oh, I know what the fuck this is. Some people might have been like, what is this? I don't.
Well, or he missed. So like some guy clean up on aisle 6, and somebody's like, "Where did this come from?"
Literally.
he squirted it right as she turned. Like, fuck!
Damn it!
I should have brought a second. I should have had a second.
All over the freaking soda bottle. So the person who like, what the hell's up with this? What is going on?
Pepsi now with sperm.
Yeah.
Well, you want to keep it in West Virginia?
West Virginia.
That's not really a song. Are you singing West Virginia to the tune of Desperado?
Yeah, I think I was.
Just checking.
Yeah.
West Virginia is a song by John Denver that goes a little bit differently.
It doesn't go, West Virginia, why don't you
Can you
stop?
sing? Can you sing? So, that's Country Road is the name of that song, right?
Country Road.
Yeah, right?
Well,
West
there's
Virginia?
that West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me. That one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's Country Road.
So can you sing
Desperado.
Can you sing Desperado to the tune of?
I'll have to try that. Let me. I'll get back to you next week.
Okay. Song mashups.
Yeah.
So speaking of West Virginia,
Yeah.
I'll just get right into this story. Most people running low on cash at gambling tables take a stroll to the nearest ATM, but Kerry Johnson does things a little differently. His highly inadvisable actions, which took place last summer, led to Johnson pleading guilty on Wednesday to second-degree robbery and facing 5 to 18 years in prison. Pretty broad
brutal
range there. Here's how it went down. While playing blackjack at Mardi Gras Casino in Nitro, West Virginia, the 52-year-old self-employed marketing specialist, sounds like he's unemployed, set down a $25 chip to let the dealer know to hold his seat. He then walked out of the building, drove to a bank in nearby Charleston. Claiming to have a gun and a bomb, he relieved the savings and loan of $5,000 cash and returned to the blackjack table.
Like it.
What a fucking
I like
boss.
it. Yeah, I got a gun and a bomb. No fucking around here. I'm gonna need some money. Thank you. I will see you later.
Well, the fact that he's like, well, I got to save $25 to hold my seat. I'll be right back. Oh, you just gonna go take a piss? Not exactly.
No, but I'll be back.
Yeah, hold my seat, please. Assistant Prosecutor Fred Giggenbach told the Gazette-Mail he went back to the casino and lost more money. Of course he did.
Yeah.
Soon after, police tracked Johnson to his home and found him dozing on his sofa. He was arrested and unable to make his $50,000 cash-only bond. He was probably like, $50,000? Where are my keys?
Here's $5. Hold my spot. I'll be right back.
I like the cocky.
I like the cockiness to like, well, no, it's going to work. So just hold my spot. $25. I'll be right back.
Right. Exactly. While facing the judge and entering his plea on Wednesday, Johnson did offer a couple reasonable excuses for the boneheaded holdup. He had taken a load of drugs that day and was broke due to a gambling habit. Shocking.
Yeah.
Taking a load of drugs. Man, I took a load of drugs. So it seemed totally logical to get up from the blackjack table.
Have you seen a load? I've taken them in drug form.
I should have said, speaking of loads, when we transitioned from that last story.
There you go. I got one more. A woman was arrested Saturday after she was accused of stabbing her boyfriend in the buttocks with a knife after dispute over a mini refrigerator full of beer.
Mm-hmm.
Janice Hitchens, 49, of Grove Avenue, was arrested on a charge of felonious assault, according to a police report, after she allegedly stabbed her boyfriend, James Hill, 47, after the two had been drinking. I don't know if they had to say they'd been drinking. I'm pretty sure that's probably implied.
Yeah, that's implied.
Police said an intoxicated Hill told police Hitchens got angry when he moved the mini fridge with the beer into the living room from another room.
The nerve.
I know. Hill told police Hitchens started yelling at him and then stabbed him with what he thought was a steak knife.
Mm-hmm.
Police spoke with Hitchens, according to the police report, who admitted to stabbing Hill but claimed it was in self-defense because he had stabbed her in the knee with scissors.
The previous day.
What is going on in this house?
I don't know what's going on because there's a lot of stabbing, but also I love the fact that she goes on to claim he did that on Friday.
Yeah.
She got her revenge on Saturday. She had been waiting to get her revenge.
Well, he does it, and then they're like, beers? Yeah. We're good. And then he's like, well, you know what? I'm hanging in the living room. I'm taking the beer fridge. And she's like, to hell you are.
How did she get to the butt? Like, was he Where was it? Was he standing up? I mean, he's got to be sitting on the couch drinking his beer.
Of course, I'm in my head. I give these people a look, and I'm thinking, "There's no way this dude could move very fast."
No.
So she was probably chasing him with the knife, and he turned around, and that's about as far as he got.
Boom.
And she was like, "I'm not going to stab him in the back because that's too cliche."
It seems a little. This couple should not be together. Maybe very volatile.
No,
don't go over to their house.
Let me ask you this.
Okay.
If you were hanging out with your partner, wife,
sure,
and maybe you guys are making margaritas, and she moves the blender, would you think of stabbing her?
I would. Well, here's the thing. To be fair, I wouldn't think of stabbing her. I'd be in such a rage that she had moved the blender that I would be blinded and just go crazy.
Right.
Like, I had the blender here for a reason, and you just moved it over to the fucking island? Like, what are you fucking thinking?
But don't you think that's even too calm and collected? Wouldn't it just be like you see the blenders moving and just you just don't even let her know why you're so angry. You just start throwing stuff and like, what is
that
going
is
on?
Literally like a toddler's reaction to something.
Yeah.
Like, you took away my toy, I'm going to scratch you with my fucking nails now. Like, that desperate. Yeah. It's a mini fridge that moved from one room to another. Right. Probably doesn't warrant a stabbing.
Which is what I want to know what she did to get stabbed in the knee.
That's what I was going to say next. What did she do? And there was something in the article about how they said there weren't any like wounds on her knees.
No, it just looked like her knees were scraped up.
Right. Exactly.
Which I'm like, you lucky guy.
Maybe they were safety scissors.
Just a little round edge. They're just slipping off her knee.
Damn it.
Son of a.
So bizarre. There's some awful people out there.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite out of all those people? I think I got to go Gambler. That is a fucking boss move.
Gambler's pretty boss. I kind of like the stabbing in the butt because the moving the beer fridge. Because it's just so like, it's that hesitation of like, well, I don't really want to kill the guy. Right. We were drinking. I mean, so he stabbed me yesterday. Now we're drinking, have a good time. But
we're over that.
Dick moved the frickin' fridge and just chased him with a steak knife. And you're like, right in the butt. How you like that, buddy?
Think she warned him? You move fridge. You move that fridge, and I will fucking stab you.
Oh, I'm sure she told him too. I'm going to stab you in the ass.
And hey, you know what? It's all about follow through. As a parent, I deal with this every day. They gotta have consequences for their actions.
Right. It's like the old police. Don't pull your gun unless you're ready to use it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. Yeah.
Don't pull your knife, whatever type of knife she had.
I'm going to stab you in the ass. Yeah. And they were calling each other names and everything.
Oh, could you imagine being their neighbor? I mean, let's be real. They were either in a trailer park or an apartment complex.
I'm sure the neighbor isn't much better. Neighbor probably just got busted for freaking trying to rob a bank with a fake gun and a bomb.
Right.
And then the freaking guy across the street was jerking off into a syringe.
This is a great group.
Yeah. No.
Shit, the most like chill of the whole crew is the cryogenics guy.
Is the crazy doctor.
He's the normal one.
Yeah.
Oh, man. God damn it. All right.
God damn it.
Let me ask you a question. Do you like Girl Scout cookies?
I do, but I don't eat them. Because I don't eat sugar anymore.
Oh, right. Yeah. Because you're staying away from the sugar.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
But I like those. What are they? The Samoas?
Yeah. I was going to ask what kinds you like the most.
Samoas.
I always get it wrong. I think it's Samoas, not Samoans. So it's not like a person.
I like Samoans too, though.
They're great.
I'll lick myself a Samoan.
I'm a simple man. I like the Thin Mints.
Thin Mints, yeah.
They're fucking good stuff.
And I like the Thin Mints if they're frozen.
Oh, well, you have to freeze them.
Oh.
You have to freeze. You should freeze
you most. Look how surprised. You do.
You do. You need to freeze most chocolate. Like if you have I sometimes will have a Kit Kat bar. And you know what?
I like how you're admitting it. Like we're in a round table 12-step group and you're like, I will sometimes fondle myself. I will sometimes have a Kit Kat bar.
Well, a Kit Kat bar, I feel like I'm about 12 years old when I have one, but you got to freeze that shit.
Now, do you bite it straight on or do you bite it on the side to break the crisp wafers apart?
Now, you can take several approaches here. You can go single, wedge, whatever that is, and kind of march your way down that. Or you can do the double. Sometimes I like to do the double.
I've never done the double.
And
never doubled
double.
Kit Kat. No, I take a single, turn it on its side, and then use my molars, and it breaks up the cookie into...
and the wafer part? Yeah.
I also
see that.
I eat a Twix. I eat the top off the cookie part first, and then I eat the cookie last.
Twix, I can only have a little bit of. I feel like it kind of gives me.
Do you freeze Twix?
You know what? I don't. It's been so long since I had a Twix, but you should. You got to freeze all that stuff.
No, anything that's got gooey caramel, you don't freeze.
Oh, I forgot about the gooey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think about
like
that.
a Carmelo. Yeah, Carmelo. All of a sudden I went basketball. Yeah. You're not going to freeze a Carmelo. Unless you're Phil Jackson, then you're freezing them out. But
yeah, right.
Snickers.
No Snickers?
Snickers.
It's got that nougat.
That's true. I wouldn't freeze a Three Musketeer either, but I know a lot of people who do. Charleston Chew? Not freezing that.
No. I guess it's mostly the
bit
harder
of honey?
chocolate.
You can't freeze that?
Well,
Man, what are you talking about freezing this stuff?
Of honey. Bit of honey isn't chocolate.
That's a good point. Touche.
God damn it. I don't freeze like fucking sweet tarts and shit. I'm talking just chocolate here.
Lemon heads.
Because
make them little bullets.
Well, Kit Kats, when they melt on you, it's like the biggest disappointment. Like, God damn it, I can't even eat this shit anymore. You have to throw it in the trash.
We've gotten very dramatic. It's the biggest disappointment. I mean, life can only hand you so many lemons before you're finally like, fuck it.
Yeah, I'm out. Fuck this. Can't do this anymore.
Kit Kat.
I'm not eating any chocolate anymore. You got a freezer? Then fuck you. I don't want any. I should say that. I'm going to say that next year. I'm going to go trick-or-treating next year myself. I'm just going to tell that to people.
A freezer?
Is this shit in the freezer? Give me the ones in the freezer. Yeah. I don't want the fucking ones in the bowl.
Fuck you then. I'll buy my own.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll go around with like freaking a big tub of dry ice. Just drop it right in there. Drop it right in there.
Oh, okay. So anyway, by the way, on the Thin Mint front, one of the things about Girl Scout cookies is they're only available for a certain chunk of the year, which I think is a real missed opportunity because people buy them shits year round. Or maybe it creates the craze. I don't know. Maybe they're the marketing geniuses. But I realized after a certain point, somebody, I don't know, my wife got them or something. Keebler makes grasshoppers. They're very, very similar to Thin Mints. So if you're having a Thin Mint fix and it's not Girl Scout cookie season and you haven't stockpiled your fucking freezer with Thin Mints like my wife has done before, then go hit the grasshoppers.
What do you feel
I liked them so much I overkilled them and now I can't eat grasshoppers anymore.
Really? What do you feel about the Girl Scouts that park out in front? They freaking camp out in front of like a supermarket.
I think it's fine because I get solicited by other things, other people, so why not Girl Scouts? I mean, yes, there's a guilt factor there because you're basically denying little girls. Like, fuck you, I don't want your shit.
Oh, it's even better when you tell them you don't eat sugar.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Because I could say, I'm like, oh, no. Because, the best thing is to go, oh, I buy them for my niece. I'm sorry, I buy them all for my niece. She's a Girl Scout. Because then it's like, oh, you're still supporting. Boy, when they're like, oh, you want a Girl Scout cookie? And you're just like, I don't eat sugar.
I'm going to just tell them next time it gives me the shits.
Yeah.
I can't. You want to know what those things do to me?
Yeah.
No.
I don't eat sugar. Because then they're like, oh.
Your life must suck.
Gotta walk back out with a Kit Kat bar. Hey, have a good one.
Gotta go throw this baby in the freezer. Okay. We've been derailed here a bit. The whole point of this line of questioning was
how much you hate Girl Scouts.
An Oklahoma man. I hate Girl Scouts, man. God damn it. Leave me alone. No. An Oklahoma man must have been short on dough because he tried to barter with some Girl Scouts when he was trying to get some cookies. Police in Ardmore arrested 45-year-old Jerry Swanson on Saturday after he tried to barter some Girl Scout cookies from some Girl Scouts at a local mall. Swanson's sweet deal? Want to guess?
Wanted to trade weed.
You're close. He allegedly offered some vodka to the girls in exchange for the cookies. However, Swanson didn't actually have any alcohol on him at the time. How can you... I mean, Girl Scouts are what? Like 9 to 12 or something?
Yeah.
And you're trying to give them fucking vodka?
In my head, I want this to be like a skinny white guy that walks up on the Girl Scouts and he's like, yo, you bitches drink?
You bitches drink.
And just they're like, what?
Yeah. You guys like some Smirnoff? What do you want?
He doesn't say vodka. He says vodka. Some vodka.
I got some vodka.
Yeah.
Bystanders called police because, okay, first of all, bystanders called police. Why is the den mother or whatever, that was the Boy Scout thing, why is the fucking troop mother not on the spot? She's leaving them on their own?
I'm thinking it is going the way that I see it. Just dumped off the Girl Scouts.
And just
probably not a great part of town.
Yeah, left them to fend for themselves.
Guys like, yo, you bitches, Want some vodka?
Right.
And they probably did, and they were probably like, "Fuck yeah, bro! We'll switch this out." And then somebody passing by, probably some woman who's pregnant, carrying a child, and smoking, was like, "Oh no, this is not." She probably wanted some vodka, and dude was like, "But you got cookies?"
Yeah, you
She's
don't
like,
got
"I ain't got
cookies.
no cookies."
Yeah.
And so she got pissed, and then called the cops.
Yeah, well then you're not gonna get any cookies.
Yeah. And then the Girl Scouts got pissed at her for like ruining their gig. They're like, now we got no vodka.
Right. God damn it. We had vodka lined up.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Bystanders called police because Swanson seemed intoxicated. Well, I would think so. He did tell officers he had been drinking all day. Hey, thanks. Full disclosure, officers.
Yeah.
I'm pretty fucking loaded. So I've been making bad decisions all day long.
Honey Badger. I'm drunk, Honey Badger.
When officers questioned Swanson, they said he seemed confused and disoriented based on various field sobriety tests. Swanson was taken to the Carter County Jail and booked on a public intoxication charge. I think he could have been booked on more than that.
Probably.
Like offering alcohol to minors.
To the delinquency of a minor.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Anyway, good job, buddy. Breakups are hard, Neil.
They are.
They're very hard, especially when someone's done something wrong. Feelings get hurt, things are said, text messages are exchanged, and in some cases, apology letters are written.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever write a breakup apology letter?
I don't think I was ever that sorry.
Did you ever write a go fuck yourself letter?
I actually wrote a mean one because I was influenced by other girls that were like my friends. Mm-hmm. They almost talked me into breaking up with this girl. I was a fucking weak-souled person. I mean, I stand up for yourself, Matt. Now, granted, I think I was in 6th grade.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, I always sucked at breakups. I was really bad at them.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think I ever wrote a letter. I think it was more like I would have like that conversation that you've seen on The Bachelor 100 times, where it's like, I'm just feeling connections with other people more than you.
Wow, brutal.
No, I didn't say that.
I'm the worst breaker-upper ever. I'm just like, you can have everything. In 6th grade, I'm like, you just take my desk, you can take my butt.
You can have everything.
I'm out.
You get all our friends.
Yeah.
And I think one of the worst things to hear when you're getting dumped is like how great you are. Please don't do that. You're such a great guy. You're gonna find somebody else. Fuck you.
Yeah. Never been dumped, so I don't know.
No. There you go. Yeah. Always the dumper.
Something like that. That or I just don't remember. The concussions can help out.
I don't know if it's the concussions or just repression. It could
Whatever.
Just be, yeah, they both work. So anyway, this guy Nick Lutz, which I believe he's from Florida, which would make sense.
Yeah.
He was going through a breakup with his girlfriend, and it sounds like maybe she cheated on him.
Oh.
So she sent him this long apology letter. So you know what he did?
What did he do?
He graded it with a red pen and sent it back to her. And just to make matters worse, he posted the shit on Twitter.
That's awesome.
Which is so awesome and such an asshole move, but also kind of a boss move. So I'm just going to run through some highlights.
Yes.
Because they posted the whole fucking note. He did.
Right.
So she starts out by saying, I know you don't want anything to do with me. And he immediately points out that she didn't indent the first paragraph. Solid start. She goes on to talk about how sorry she is and how she took it for granted. And he highlights this whole first paragraph and he says, too long of an introduction, lots of repetition. Then she says she never cheated on him and he says, strong statement. No supporting details to support your hypothesis.
Oh, that's brutal.
She talks about how the thought of you has made me lose my insanity. And he writes, loses with 1 O, which I appreciate that very much. Because she says loose several times.
Yeah, the loose, choose, lose, chose, all that gets people.
Right. It
loose.
Does. Loose is one of the worst, though.
Choose.
Yeah. And the fact that she's potentially been accused of cheating and she keeps using the word loose in her letter is probably not a good idea.
Yeah.
Anyway, she says how she'll always have a place in her heart for him. And she puts, I just hope to God you have thought about me. And he writes back, I have not. Toward the end of like page 3, she starts to get kind of sloppy with her writing. Mm-hmm. And he writes lackadaisical handwriting. And then he finishes by giving her a grade. He gives her 61 out of 100 for a D minus. And then he says, long intro, short conclusion, short hypothesis, but nothing to back it up. Details are important. If you want to be believed, back it up with proof. You claim that cheating never occurred, but place blame on yourself. Then what for? Need to stop contradicting your own story and pick a side. While this gesture is appreciated, I would prefer details over statements. Revision for half credit will be accepted.
That's all. I like how he leaves the door open, like, right. Hey, right back.
This thing has been retweeted like 300,000 times.
That's awesome.
Oh, Nick. That's a good one. Anyway.
Frickin' Nick.
Yeah. You got sex bots?
Yeah, I one of your favorite subjects. This came across my desk today. Okay. Or yesterday. I forget what day. But they're talking about how high-income individuals will embrace robot sex.
Yeah, they will.
It's kind of a long article.
It is.
And so I'm not going to get too crazy into it. If you have any highlights in here you want to...
There's a few.
But, pretty much saying that people with means are really going to turn towards this for fun, thinking that it'll become popular among high-income households by 2030. That's not far away.
That's very soon.
Yeah. The sex market in 20 years could be 3 times bigger than today and 7 times bigger by 2050. I want to know how they get these numbers. Like, where'd you get 7? Why not just say 10? 5
There's
or
a guy
10?
with a chalkboard, and he's like,
and he's naked. 7. He's naked. Frickin'
with a prototype wrapped around his cock.
Polishing the apple. While some people will enthusiastically embrace relationship-free robot sex as soon as they can afford one, as early as 2025, it won't have much chance of overtaking sex with humans overall until 2050.
But by 2050, we flipped.
Yeah, so by 2050, that's
we're
30.
Fucking old, man.
That's 33 years.
We're in our mid-70s.
It's going to be a beautiful thing,
isn't it? Because
yeah.
by then it's like, fuck yeah, whatever.
Well, I was going to say, and by then I would imagine our wives are going to be like, been there, done that. And they're going to see a nice stud robot and go like, yeah.
And be like, he can keep it up a lot longer than my husband.
I don't need you to try to rub that gray flaccid worm on me anymore.
Oh, God damn it. Get your doodle away.
Now, let me ask you this. And we go back to this in a minute, or back to the article itself. But now, do you think you would kiss the robot?
That's a good question. And I think there's something in the article later that mentions something about some sort of like virtual kiss thing or something like that. I don't know that you would.
Yeah.
Do you think you would? I mean, well, here's the thing, though. By 2050, they're going to make them so realistic, I guess, that you're going to confuse your fucking mind into thinking this is an actual person or being.
Yeah.
And maybe you do that. I don't know. Kissing is a very personal thing, though. So not that sex isn't, but it's you can kind of detach yourself, I think, in ways from the sex piece to just like making out.
Yeah, because let's say as a couple, because couples or people that are married have obviously like vibrators and dildos and fleshlights and all that fun stuff, which is pretty much a machine to have, sex with. So let's say you in life, like your wife or your husband is like, nah, that's cool. You want one of these freaking robots? That's fine. I think the line would be drawn for a lot of people is like, just don't freaking make out with the thing. That's creepy.
Right.
You want to go ahead and do whatever with this stupid thing. Fine. But
I'm sure there's lots of lines to be drawn, but that could be one of them.
That would be my only. I'm not making out with it.
Maybe washing the robot's hair would be weird.
That would be awesome. Bathing with it. You're like, what?
Setting
a place at the table.
Throw a shoe at the door at your wife when she comes in. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
What I thought was interesting in the article, and I don't know if you're going to get to this, so sorry, but this guy, David Levy, the author, the author of Love and Sex and Robots, says he's absolutely convinced sex with robots is a positive thing for people who do not have satisfactory relationships. He argues they could be a cure for child sex abusers by helping to wean, pedophiles off having sex with children. Okay, don't really support this argument. And doesn't that just mean they're going to get fucking kid robots?
Yeah, that's what I think it would mean.
Gross.
Yeah, and it's a really weird...
That's going to maybe drive them more.
Well, it's a really weird argument. If there was some sort of basis, and I don't know how you would do this, it said, look, if you give them a kid robot, they'll leave kids alone. It's creepy as hell, but is one better than the other? I would think, but it's a really weird argument to have,
Like, because basically what you're saying is you're not doing anything to deal with that urge
right.
that needs to be satiated, but you're just deflecting it so that no one's getting hurt in the process.
Right. No,
I mean,
right.
I can see why they make the argument.
Yeah.
But I don't know that it really is accurate.
Yeah. To me, it's also like, making a victim robot that you're going to rape.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, well,
which is the case for every one of these robots, by the way, not just the kids.
No consent.
Well, because they're not consenting.
Well,
you just got this fucking piece of machinery that you're essentially. I mean, that you could make that argument.
You're absolutely correct. You can make that argument with a dildo now. It didn't ask to be put there.
That's true, but what you're essentially doing is having non-consensual sex with something that doesn't have a choice. Not granted, it's an inanimate object.
That's probably a big part. Of
well, of course. You know. Okay.
I totally know it. No, you're right. You're right. But I'm saying that if they're programmable, there's going to be people that are programming it saying, no, you don't want sex with me. You don't want sex with anybody. And then they're going to force themselves upon said robot
as a fantasy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then I think every fantasy will be programmed into those things.
Yeah. So it's just a weird side effect, and when I first think of this, in my head, it's always like this, like, oh, it's just a toy. It's an added toy in the bedroom that, you're going to enjoy. And, I think of people who maybe don't have a lot of self-confidence or are quote unquote stereotypically not very attractive, or they have had a problem getting a man or woman to be intimate with. And this could really help people like that. They could have some sort of pleasure with something a little bit more human than maybe they've had in the past. It's also why I think sometimes some prostitution should be legal, because it can help certain people that can't do it on their own. So in my head, it's always like, oh, it's going to do this thing. But then I start getting like you when the article with the kids, or rape fantasies or weird thing. There's going to be someone who's going to get two robots and have them have sex with each other, which is going to be hilarious because there's nobody involved anymore.
Oh God, that's going to be a thing.
Yeah.
You're going to go to Pornhub and there's going to be robots having sex.
Yeah.
Oh man. And then you're going to come home one day and your robot's going to be sitting in front of your computer watching it.
Yeah. Think of it this way, that at the height of this, there's a possibility that somebody I know that might have kids will be right in the middle of it.
Mm-hmm.
In the middle. Let me ask you this.
Okay.
Hypothetically.
Mm-hmm. Oh, boy.
You have a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Kid buys a sex robot. Kids of age, sex robot. Would it matter to you whether the sex robot was male or female?
No, I think it would be the robot piece that would be more concerning.
Uh-huh.
I think it would be more like, hey, why don't you go explore that with real humans? I mean, that's the other thing that you get into with this is this just another way of pushing human contact away?
Sure, it's real life Sims.
Well, right. Look at, and here I'm going to sound like grumpy old man again. Look at these damn kids who sit there and text each other all day, sometimes sit in a room on their phones and don't fucking talk to each other, or sit in their own rooms all day and talk to each other that way, not the actual human contact. Is this just going to make that worse? It probably is, because now all of a sudden you don't have to go find sex from an actual human being. You can just fucking order it in the damn mail.
Well, no,
dropped off by a drone.
And if you can fucking drones,
man.
And if you can program its personality, you can have it say and do the things you always want it to say and do. So there's never the conflict that you don't want.
Right. And you want to get back into snowflakes.
Yeah.
It's always yes. Everything's
right.
yes. Don't got to work. You don't got to work for it because the robot's always going to say yes. And does it just, I think it's just continuing to move more and more toward what's the reason to leave the house anymore?
We're becoming idiocracy.
Kind of.
Yeah. No, it's true.
It's probably dumb for the guy who works from home to say.
How about
the guy who jumps out of his seat when the doorbell rings?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, it seems like all these things are just driving a wedge between human interaction.
How about the first person that starts taking the robot out, like on a date?
Oh, fuck yeah. You've seen Lars and the Real Girl, right?
No.
Oh, that's what's his face? Gosling.
Oh.
It's a movie he made 100 years ago where he orders a doll as his becomes his girlfriend, and he introduces her to his family, and and it's like takes her places and stuff. And except for this, in this case, it's a robot that's actually going to be able to somehow interact. It's going to be even weirder.
Right. Yeah.
I just continue to fear the future, don't I?
Well, there's parts of this. I mean, this, we're heading into some really weird decline of the Western civilization type stuff. I mean, this can be, so let's say, I can't have children. So let's say I just buy a little kid doll so I can pretend I have a kid.
Do you mean like a reborn doll, Neil,
exactly,
that we've talked about before?
Exactly.
I mean,
and then you keep aging
thing.
it up.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then
eventually you won't have to have humans at all.
You want to save money, so now your daughter is 25 and you can't afford the daughter doll and the sex doll.
Oh no, I knew you were going to go there. God damn.
I mean, it's going to get in freaking sane.
And then there's a whole ethics of that.
Yeah.
And morals around that. Is it okay to have sex with the fucking, child doll that you brought up?
Right.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
There's just too much of this.
And then with learning AI, that means after years, let's say it starts to learn your personality and program itself into knowing and then all of a sudden you flip on it one day and go, oh no, you're not going to be my daughter doll anymore.
And then it's crushed.
Or or programmed to be crushed.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And then it murders you in your sleep.
That would
We've seen this.
Yeah.
We've seen this in movies.
I like it.
You like it.
So
I'm telling you,
This is freaking me. This is the one thing that freaks me out.
Well, and it should freak us all out. I mean, we are by giving, we had to trust those dates, but those dates could be way off. But we're, 20, 30 years away from reading an article that says Florida man, because of course it'll be there.
Right. Murdered
by sex robot during rape fantasy.
Sure.
Because the robot's going to go, hey, I'm programmed to fend you off in any way I can, and then it's going to fucking strangle him to death.
Sure.
And then everybody's going to go, okay, what do we do with this?
They start making animal robots, animal bots.
Mm-hmm. Like those dogs, where the guy was kicking the dogs. Remember?
Yeah, the Boston Dynamics. Quick kicking. Oh, it's a robot. But then you start having sex with your rhino bot.
Oh yeah, that's gonna happen for sure. Rhino bot. Oh man, this could go on for hours. We should probably wrap it up. Did you have any other things in this article?
I have a lot more, but I think I just should shut up before all of a sudden.
I have a feeling that this topic, via another article, will come up in the future. So if you'd like to hear more of this, just continue to watch our bonus content space.
But I just want to say it is creepy as hell.
It is real fucking creepy. Well, let's finish.
And it always starts with the rich too,
Well, of course. Like it's guys like me in finance,
That's
we
right.
gotta be pleasured at all times. We work long hours. Sometimes we don't leave our house for days on end. Rarely take showers. Look at me. Every week you see me, I got a fucking hat and look all grubby on. I mean, look at this.
It happens.
That's what happens. We're not very far. I'm gonna have a goddamn co-host sitting next to me. Be like, hey, Neil.
That'd be funny.
My girl Judy.
You have it morphed, or even worse, you have it morphed to either look like you or look like me. So you're like, oh, what's that? Oh, it's you.
This is Neil 2.
Yeah.
Neil squared.
10-2.
Oh, fuck. So I have a question for you. What music do you like to knock the boots to?
I like all music. I am a fan of rock. However, since meeting Annalise, and she's a fan of, I don't know what to call it, that kind of weird music.
What does that mean?
It's like depressed girl kind of ambient.
Oh, that your voice there could have been anything. That could have been opera. For all I know.
I know it sounded more like. That's kind of fun to grind to, because every now and then, like it'll have like this weird, almost like heavy industrial grinding guitar backbeat, but then it'll be like
all of a sudden it's Rammstein. And you're just fucking.
Well, without the fast beat though.
Okay.
So it's really weird. So then it's like, oh, I'm so depressed. I wish I could watch you from afar as the raindrops fall. Stuff like that.
That doesn't make you just go, pew.
No way.
Or are you like, I got to cheer her up.
I'm like, sex bot doll, let's do this.
Honey, it's going to be okay.
That, and heavy music, I do enjoy, but not loud. I like the heavy music trend. Marilyn Manson, that's a good one.
Wow.
The Dope Show, that's a good one.
Yeah. Well, so Spotify.
Now, how about you?
Oh, me? I just classical.
Pure classical? Dun 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 dun.
I time it just right.
Flight of the Bumblebee. You're like, oh Jesus. Your poor wife's like, quit jackrabbiting me.
Yeah, god damn it. So Spotify did some research into their playlists and came up with a top 10 list of songs that Australians like to bang to.
Nice.
And it's pretty stupid the way they did this because they basically reviewed all the playlists which had sex in the title. So this might not be wholly accurate. I mean, it's like, what if it was like, I'm never gonna have sex, so I want to listen to this song, and that's the playlist.
I'm guessing there's gonna be a lot of Men at Work and Midnight Oil.
It should be, but unfortunately not. God, that would be great. Kylie Minogue for me. You know how I like Kylie.
Oh yeah.
Top 10. Ready? Let's go reverse order.
All right.
Slow Motion by Trey Songz. A lot of these I don't even know what they are.
Right.
Because I'm an old guy. Thinking About You, Frank Ocean. Earned It by The Weeknd. And then Often by The Weeknd. So The Weeknd coming in twice.
The Weeknd, yeah, Weeknd doing it.
Sex on Fire by Kings of Leon. It's not really it's got sex in the title. But you really think of that as like a fucking song? You remember how that song goes? I mean, there's no way.
But maybe it's just on.
Right.
While you're doing it, and you're like,
okay.
I can get into this.
Yeah, well, and that's the only song really I can handle from Kings of Leon because that guy's voice drives me bananas.
Yeah.
Every song is,
yeah.
It's like this fucking weird meow thing he's doing.
I saw them live, and they drove me nuts.
You saw it probably for free.
No, I got paid.
Oh, okay. Oh, you got paid. That's right.
Yeah.
Pony by Genuine. Sex With Me by
That
Rihanna.
makes sense.
What's Pony?
I know it's a sex song.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I know. I don't know it.
Sex With Me by Rihanna.
There you go.
That would make sense. Birthday Sex by, oh no.
By Mom?
Oh, God. Stop playing that, Mom. By, I don't know if this is pronounced Jeremy or Jeremiah. But the number one.
Yeah.
Is the Cantina Band from the Star Wars.
Hell yeah.
Why?
Because get your freak on.
How would you fucking do that music?
Because you can go from that into like the before they had the talkies in the movie, the songs that they had in that.
I just imagine somebody like strolling into the room, like whittling back and forth.
Yeah, it's like Buster Keaton comes in and he's like,
right, swinging his fucking,
Or they go into the
umbrella.
Benny Hill, the Benny Hill music.
See, the Benny Hill
that.
would make more sense.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, that had boobs all over that show, so at least you remember that.
And that song has a name, and I always forget it.
It does?
The Benny Hill, yeah,
Theme?
It's famous. Yeah.
I just anytime anybody says it, everybody just starts going.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask you this.
Yes.
Did you know that there is I saw this a while back. There's a bar that they're building. I don't think it's open yet. That's going to be in Hollywood called Scum and Villainy Cantina.
Oh.
All fucking Star Wars theme, meant to look just like the cantina.
Nice.
And you get
Blue
reservations.
Milk?
What?
Blue milk?
I'm assuming they're going to have blue milk.
Nice.
You make a reservation for like a 2-hour window, and you go there and you get like a souvenir glass and a couple drinks and shit like that. And then they, at the end of the night from 11 to 2, it's just open. Like you just line up and go in.
Nice.
But it's and they're encouraging costumes. So it's going to be this crazy like cosplay bar scene, which to me it sounds like it's not going to end well.
If
there's
I
gonna be
went,
some fights.
if
They're going
I
to try
went,
to reenact the goddamn
yeah, for
Kenobi,
sure.
whatever scene,
If I went, I'd either go as
Greedo.
Captain Kirk.
Oh, really fuck with him.
Tweaky from Buck Rogers.
Jar Jar Binks.
Well, Jar Jar Binks is still close to home.
He fits, but everybody hates him.
Yeah, but I would do that. Or Apollo from Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Apollo from the Rocky movies.
That would be good too.
Why is he here?
Yeah, that would be how. Because Captain Kirk would not be welcome there.
No, he would not. Apollo from Battlestar Galactica, which is not. Which
or
one's
Starbuck.
Apollo? Starbuck. That's how
yeah, Apollo's the guy who just died.
He just died?
Yeah, the actor.
He died?
George Harrison or whatever his name was.
I don't remember. I don't know that.
Harrison Ford. I don't know what his name.
Harrison Ford. It's something.
No.
Plane crash. Died in a plane crash.
Harry Balls. I don't know.
Something like that.
Name of the song from Benny Hill's Yakety Sax.
Oh, fuck. That makes sense. Yakety Sax?
Yeah.
SACKS, right?
SAX.
No, it's SACKS.
Yeah.
You see my yakety sack? Oh, shit. Thanks again for listening to another bonus episode. Next week is another bonus, and then we'll be back to a new episode the following week. Again, you can find us at reasonsrseveral.com. You can talk to us on Twitter at reasonsr and at angelsfreak7. Don't forget to tell a friend about the show. We'll be back next week. Peace.
Agent Palmer presents The Week of Coffee. From September 24 through September 30th, 7 posts in 7 days about all things coffee. A whole week devoted to the Java. Its history, traditions, myths, and more. Go to agentpalmer.com/coffee to see what's brewing.